Um, Sean Jay representing the Falcons coming in a little bit later to represent their squad and talk about their preseason. But for right now, we're gonna get this started because it's already getting late for me. T Money and the Panthers and Mike Ricks and the Panthers got their preseason today, or not today, but yesterday, and had their young rookie debut, Bryce Young, or as some people call him, Little Bryce Young. T Money, Mike, T Money. I know Mike's a little probably got his thing muted. T Money, what you think you seen from the young cat yesterday?
Um, Seen a lot of maturity, seen a lot of his ability to process the field. Um, was hard to see everything because our right guard spot was just so bad. Um, but see them making reads, see them, making quick decisions, things that I liked.
Mike, I see you over there smiling.
Yeah, man. Just to piggyback on what T Money said, man, the poise. He definitely was. How can I say this? He took the hits. He showed everybody he could take the hits, and I think that's what people really wanted to see, man. He threw a nice dime. I know it was only 5 yards to Adam Thielen, but he picked up a first down, so that was a good play for us, man. We got to find every positive we can out of this thing, and he took it because they were coming in launching. I don't think anything was illegal, so let's not put that narrative out there. But they were definitely coming to bring the pain to Bryce Young. They would say, "Oh, we're gonna hit this little joker," and he was able to bounce back up, man. And I felt like he handled himself like we expected him to, with poise. Some things were just out of his control. Shout out to Ray Charles in the building.
Ray Charles in the
Some
building.
things were just out of his control, but all in all, great debut. I ain't gonna say great. Let's quit saying the word great. Encouraging debut.
All right, I like that. So I'll say this. I'll say this. What I saw from him was, I can't say, obviously you can't say he can take hits. I mean, he did take a hell of a hit. Like, he was getting rocked. I ain't gonna lie. We all saw that. But what I saw, and this is my opinion, was after he took that hit, I felt like he was getting rid of that ball a little bit quicker than he wanted to not. And you know, it is what it is. You don't want to get hit, but that's what I seen. That he was getting rid of that ball a little bit faster than he wanted to. Some of those other snaps. Um, what do you think? Unless anybody else has anything to say about Bryce, what do you think? Like, you guys, what did you see that you were like, okay, I like this that we're seeing from our team, and obviously what you didn't like from what you were seeing from your team?
As far as what I liked, I did like that a lot of people in our secondary was making plays. Whether you seen D-Jack making a play, making a stop on when they tried to go deep on him. Whether you seen Keith Taylor, C.J. Henderson, you seen Jeremy Chin making plays. You seen pretty much everybody in the secondary made a play. Pass rush wise, it was good to see Amari Barno because they've been acting like Amari Barno hasn't been doing that in camp, and he's just a gamer, man. Whether it was the couple of
D-
games he got
Hold
last.
on, real quick, DJ, mute until you go and talk, because there's a lot of loud commotion in the back.
I told you. I warned you.
No, it's fine. Just when you got to talk, you could unmute it. No worries, no worries. Go ahead, D Money.
So that was good to see Amari Barno getting his pass rush going on. Other than that, I mean, D line wise and the linebackers look fast. Whether it was Camus, whether it was Shaq, whether it was Frankie, they looked like they was flying around the ball. So that was good to see. Um, yeah, that's about it. Offensively, we'll get into that, but yeah,
Mike,
wasn't.
anything you want to add that you liked, and if not, give me something you didn't like.
What I liked is we came out of this thing healthy.
Mm.
That's what you want to do. You want to come out of preseason games. I know you want to give the fans, and you want to at least have a show and some positive energy. Like, yeah, we were able to move the ball and score touchdowns. But ultimately, you want to go through the game plan the pregame, all the the steps of a true game, because this is some of their first time ever playing in an NFL game. So you want to go through that process, get that out the way, and come out of this thing healthy. Outside of that, just coming to straight football in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Blythewood, South Carolina, Amari Barno. He flashed, he showed up. I was very impressed with him. He has all kind of speed. He showed up on special teams too. So that's something that I was encouraging. Frankie Louvu is just the dog, man. He's a man. So I was excited to see him flash and do what he did. Linebacker, like T-Money said, secondary also. There's some things we got to fix, man. We definitely got to fix. We got to be able to slow and help stop the run a little better. I didn't like what I saw there. They were able to do a lot of running, and we know in football you got to stop the run and rush the pass. That's your job on defense. Stop the run and rush the pass. So I didn't like that. In offense, nothing. I ain't gonna say nothing.
It's okay. It's okay to say nothing.
Nah, we came out of here healthy. I think Matt Corral actually played pretty decent. To get hit as much as he got hit, even though holding on to the ball, it was not much. I was disappointed.
Mr. Brown flashed again. I mean, I know he flashed every preseason, but
Spencer,
yeah,
Spencer flashed. Derek White. I like him, man. I like him. He's a nice slot receiver, man, and I think can earn time because he just finds a way to get open and he's reliable. He's gonna catch the ball. So that's a guy on offense if I got to dig.
Yeah. As far as negatives, Austin Corbett, I don't know what you got to do to figure it out. We need you week 1 because right guard was a problem spot for us. Whether it was Cade Mays, whether it was Michael Jordan, Cam Irvin, whatever injury you got, just go ahead and stay at the crib. And that's one thing I'm tired of seeing. Like, just because you can play more than one position, if you suck, it don't matter that you can play more than one position. Cam Irvin, his whole thing is he's supposed to be a mentor to Icky, and he can play center, guard, and tackle. But if you suck at all three, I mean, what are we doing? And Michael Jordan not even the best guard in the world, and now we trying him at tackle. I don't understand the experiment.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm gonna say one thing on the negative, man. The Carolina Panthers, and this is the round table, so I'm gonna keep it funky. The Carolina Panthers had the worst showing of any team in this division.
Dropping bombs, okay.
And let's keep it real. Like, I get it, it's just preseason 1. There's a lot of anticipation of some hypeness in Carolina. There's a lot of that talk about the first overall pick. It's early, so there's no need to panic.
Right.
But just looking at preparation, it looked like this team wasn't prepared to go out here in a game mode to execute. So they got a couple more weeks before we go to Atlanta in a divisional game. They better get together.
Hold on. So first off, let me say that you're 1,000% right. I think we all know that it's preseason 1. You can't get too high, can't get too low. It is what it is. But there's always room to grow, and you want to see things that you can start being concerned about. Not meaning you're pressing the panic button, but okay, I got to start paying more attention to that. With that said, I felt like I already knew what the Falcons was. I felt like I already knew what the Saints was. Panthers, I was like, that's a big question mark to me. I have no idea what that team's going to come out looking like. Now, again, it is preseason 1, but I will say that the O-line made me feel a little bit more calm about, okay, then I don't know what I was expecting to see from the Panthers, but it just made me feel a little better. Now, I seen DJ just kind of through his glasses like he was about to get in or something. I don't know. You've been talking about the O-line when it comes to the Panthers. What have you – I don't remember if it was something negative or positive, but you were saying something about the O-line with the Panthers. You want to get on that?
Well, I got kids in the background.
No, don't worry about it. Go ahead.
I mean, there was nothing I can really say that I didn't – I said before it was. I mean, you can tell it looks like a new system and new organization coming together with what they were trying to do, because I don't think there was a lot of communication. I think there was a lot of breakdowns. Some people got beat on the offensive line, but I just think right now there's just some work that needs to be done with that. I mean, it was because Bryce, he ain't had no time. When he was in there, he was getting hit quick. You know what I'm saying? They didn't give him no time. If you watch some of these other preseason games, people sit in the pocket, being able to scan this, that, and the third, even like the CJ Stroud with Houston. He was able to look around before he really got hit. I think he got hit like twice early. But he had no chance. And if you watched, I don't know if y'all was just watching that 49ers game. I know Trey Lance don't look good, but like that man ain't got no time. Like it kind of like that with the offense with the Panthers. I mean, the Panthers just look like they're working still towards something. It's preseason 1. I understand that.
Right.
There's been a lot of hype around it, right? There's been a lot of hype. They've been throwing out a lot of that, with that Panther Confidential. It's been like, urging the old to the new. So it was like a lot of anticipation, and they just threw out a dud. That could be a good
every year, but okay.
Here go T Money. He gonna be so sad. I'm not even trying to like bet. I don't know where y'all be getting.
No, I'm just pointing it out there that we do Panther Confidential every year.
T Money, you were so excited going into this preseason game. Don't try to sit here and just like, they did every. No, like I saw it. I saw the energy that Frank Wright was bringing in, like everything. It was just like a story that was just being brought, like just magic. So when y'all were about to hit that field, fairy dust and pixie dust is about to be on the field, and y'all was gonna go down the field, and boom. Everything just looked good. Now y'all go sit on the bench. All right, that's step 1, man. That's what the next confidential is going to be about. Bryce Young going down the field, looking sharp, and it felt like that didn't happen. And you can tell by your sensitivity that it bothered you. Okay, so it's okay.
Something we do every year.
It's okay.
All right.
I ain't coming here to really do this, but the way your ass had to jump in there like that, man.
You coming in doing it though. You coming in doing it.
I'm just saying, Mike. Did he not say that like that was like we doing Panther Confidential especially for this year? Like we do that every year.
He got the shades on indoors, baby. He was coming with it.
But now y'all going. You have to come out. I came here to chill. Be honest.
Uptown. What you got? Anything for the Panthers, man? You got any thoughts of what you saw from them?
Well, to be quite honest, man, I didn't really particularly see their game, so to make an assessment. I just seen a few highlights and stuff, and that's not going to be good enough for me to make an educated opinion about what was going on. The only thing I can say is this much, right? That the kid is just young. He's new. Everything new over there right now. It's the first preseason game. I don't really see why new coach.
Cutting in and out a little bit. Still there? Yeah, you're cutting out a little. We can't really hear you, Uptown. Let's get to some of these comments real quick. Let's get some shout outs real quick. We got Jerry G in the building. Uptown, let me know if you can, we can start hearing you. We'll let you know. Clack 5 White in the building. We got some Cali Bucks in the building. Tyrese Ross in the building. Entertainment, my ninja in the building. Pac-Man in the building. Trill Uno in the building. We got 504 Hot Boy in the building. I was gonna read his comment, but then I read it, and now I'm not reading that out loud. He says, "Who that family? I see you, man. I see you." We got Twan Don versus everybody in the building. We see y'all, man. He says, yo. Trill won because they didn't do anything. That's why, that's pretty much why Uptown didn't have much to say, because they didn't do anything, is what Trill is saying. Uptown's back in the building right now. We couldn't, you kind of cut out. Go ahead, Uptown.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to my connection, but I was saying that we can't really you can't make a fair assessment. Everything is new. new coaching staff. You understand? Rookie
Right.
quarterback, all that kind of stuff. I'm not going to look at that game and use that game as an indictment on the
Of
Falcons'
course.
whole season.
Of course.
So,
Let me say this. I've told T Money, Mike, right? My whole thing was I heard that there was a little bit of back and forth with the OC and the head coach. And if I'm wrong, you guys did say that the first half was called by the OC and then the second half was called by the head coach or something like that. Am I right or wrong about that? Other way around? Okay. So that was a situation that I didn't say it was a bad situation. I'm just like, just watch for that. My other thing was that I had heard that they're installing and giving Bryce like things that you would teach like a year 2 quarterback, right? And my whole thought process with that was I kind of like that. As a Bucs fan, I kind of like that because I'm kind of hoping that y'all give him too much. He can take that on in training camp and in practice. That's great. And then go into the regular season and all of a sudden now he's dealing with people, showing this coverage and actually being in this coverage and, the scheming of a defense like a Todd Bowles or, a Dennis Allen and stuff like that. And then maybe it might now be a little too much. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that it is, but those are just thoughts that I'm having, thinking like, okay, so when I saw your guys' offense and then I saw you guys' O-line and everything, I wasn't like reassured, like, okay, it's not too much because you did see good, what do you call it? Like he didn't hesitate. He looked like he knew where he was going with the ball. He looked like he was going through reads. So I didn't see any of that like fake reading. The only thing was it did look like, oh, they're not babying him for sure. So I'm kind of looking at that like, all right, maybe my plan might be in action. They're not babying him. Hopefully they give him too much and it's just too much in the NFL. But so far he looks like he's handling it. It did look like once he got those hits a couple times where he was like, I ain't trying to get hit like that no more. And he was just kind of, some of those third down throws was kind of just getting rid of that ball faster than he wanted to. But any rebuttal to that?
Yeah, I want to make a quick comment on that, man. If you don't mind.
Yeah.
The whole I saw what you're saying, and that could be extremely valid, man. And I'm not taking anything away from that. I just look at that as kind of the IQ of Bryce Young.
Yes.
For him to understand that he's getting rocked like this, he's gonna have to get the ball out faster because that mental clock is in your head. And so I thought on one of those third downs, he got it out fast enough. And I just think Laviska Shenault's just wasn't aware. If this was Madden, his awareness would be 25 right now. Offensive awareness 25 because he knew all we needed was a first down. I don't know why he runs 5 yards past the first down. It's you got to be smart as a wide receiver. Steve Smith even called it out. So I don't think they were all just rushed because he got hit. I think some of it was there's that clock, and he had to get it out if they were going to make a play.
Yeah, it might be a little bit of me putting that out in the air and hoping that that's what it is. Because obviously, again, a lot of these quarterbacks, we ain't see enough snaps to really know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? So
specifically that he's talking about, they were blitzing. Now, why Laviska decided to run a 10-yard route and we needed 5 yards for the first down, only he knows. But I would think too, like the vibe that I got from most of the game was we just want to see if individually you can beat your person. So individually, can you block your person? Individually, can you beat somebody on a route?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what a lot of what I saw was yesterday because from, we have a lot of guys that go to training camp. I feel like we were showing more in the joint practice than we was in the preseason game. We've been hearing the talk every day that Laviska been playing damn near more running back than receiver, and we didn't see that one time. We didn't see him in the backfield, not one play. For that to be like
it's kind of like what I always tell, what I always say on my channel, right? Like if you're talking about joint practice, that's more of a game type of situation where you're actually calling plays to make something happen. Preseason games are more for me like you're calling plays to see a certain person in a situation. Like you want to see, okay, for instance, we went for it on fourth down. Obviously, we wouldn't have did that in a real game, but we want to see if we put our O-line to the test and say, hey, we're going to run it. Are you going to be able to punk somebody and get that first down for the running back? You know what I'm saying? So it's more of a situation or you're calling a play to see, like you said, T-Money, can so-and-so beat so-and-so? You want to see, you're literally calling this play just to see if this person can do his job on that play and beat whoever it is that they're lined up against or in front of. So that kind of makes a lot of sense. Uptown,
Can I say something?
Of course.
Because I got knocked out. Can I say something in conclusion? About about the Panthers.
Mm-hmm.
I got something to say, right? I think that they fans should be concerned, with the play calling duties and stuff. Their coaching staff need to figure that out, because that's not
Right.
good. If one dude is calling it, and then the next dude, he picks it up and all that, because he seemed like he don't have confidence in the offensive coordinator and stuff like that. That's something that can easily derail their season.
Right. That's a great point. As far as the Panther fans, why do you think that was? Why do you think they were calling it like that?
Frank Wright addressed it before the game and after the game. So we already knew that. He said when he has a young play caller as an offensive coordinator, he gives them a chance in the preseason so they can learn how to do the job on the job. But he's
So your head coach is going to be calling the plays during the regular season.
Yes, sir.
Yes. See,
so there were
All right.
kind of like what y'all did with Dave Canales, right? It's his first year calling plays. He's going to have to come out there and do it. This would be Thomas Brown's first year doing it too. But if you have a guy that's done that for many years, an offensive-minded head coach, he's going to ease this guy in there right now. This is his first time doing it. So it's a luxury to have that. But that's a great point, Uptown, man, because it could create some confusion or some confliction there. So it's something that we can't ignore. But we were definitely
That's all I wanted to say about that, because I got clicked off, out the broadcast before I can just emphasize that point. Y'all can go.
Well, why don't we get to the Saints while we're here, because you sound like you got good connection right now. So you want to break that down, the Saints preseason game?
Yeah.
Things you liked, things you didn't.
What I did like about it is that everybody seemed like they was on the same page. It seemed like everybody, they had some good chemistry and stuff going on, and we was able to see a few of those questions answered as to what the chemistry would be like between the team and Derek Carr. So that was positive, and it was also positive too with the way in which our first and second team defense, the second team, to a certain extent, how they played, defense, also. But the things that I really didn't like was there was a few players who, we was really high on, and they just didn't show well, in the preseason game today. And that's the only thing that that I was kind of disappointed in.
Who are those players? I want to know.
Well, Alante Taylor, he's been in battle in the battle for the opposite cornerback position, about Marshawn Lattimore.
Okay.
And I expected him to look better than what he looked today. He gave up a touchdown. He looked like there was a whole lot of miscommunication going on between him and Bradley Roby out there. And that's something that, that I didn't expect to see out of him, because they say he had made such marketable improvements and stuff like that. And there's a couple of other, I think I didn't really see much from Smoke Monday, and he's been kind of like a fan favorite in training camp and stuff like that. And I didn't like the way a lot of our people played on the depth chart when it came to the defensive line, and that's about it. That's the only thing I can really, really point out and say I didn't really, like about the game today so much.
You have any year 2 players that look like they're coming out?
Yeah, Shaheed, Olave, Trevor Pennington. He looked pretty good today. He looked like he escaped the game. And another good thing too, I have to say too, right, to throw in that caveat. It seemed like we got out of this game today without any kind of injuries either. So that's a
Yeah.
positive thing too. So yeah,
I
Penning
did
looks
see what you
good.
call it got
Shaheed
hurt
looks
though.
good. Olave looked pretty good, second year. And that's about it, What you saying, T
So
Money?
I was saying the rookie running back did get hurt though.
Yeah, I saw him go through the tent. I found that out after the game. But during the game, they stayed relatively, injury free. But we're gonna see what the severity of that injury is. I guess they'll tell us that, tomorrow or sometime or whatever.
I got a quick question.
Uh-oh.
Brian Breesy. Breesy, whatever? How did he look? I heard you say some of your second D linemen. That must be including him. I mean, is that something that you were expecting a little more? Like, what's going on with him?
I think he was mixed in with the first team a lot today.
Okay.
I saw him mixed in with the first team a lot. But when it comes down to those position in the trenches and stuff like that, I usually like to see the game again to really pay attention to what the hell they got
yeah,
going on down there. You know what I'm saying? Because I couldn't
yeah.
really pay attention to what the hell was going on in the trenches too much. I must admit that. And I know this game probably going to be re-aired sometime, maybe tomorrow or later on this evening or sometime like that, where I can see what was going on down there so much. But I did see Saints Twitter. People from Saints Twitter was saying that they wasn't too impressed with the snaps that Isaiah Foskey took. So I'm gonna have to see what they was talking about with that.
So let's talk about, because we were hearing in the DMs, right? We were hearing in the DMs that all of a sudden everybody else in the NFC South is jealous because of what the Saints was doing in with Carr and with Jameis Winston. Now, I ain't gotta lie, I hate seeing Jameis with y'all. I've been said that. Everybody knows that. But I did watch the game in the beginning, right? And there was a lot of like screens. I wasn't, and Team Money knows I'm big on Derek Carr. I actually like Derek Carr. I think he's a top 10, top 15 type of quarterback. I'm big on Derek Carr. But I didn't see anything from that was like, see, that's why I was worried about Derek Carr. Not that I saw anything bad, but it was just a lot of, screen pad, just simple things. It did definitely look like Dennis Allen was like, we got us, like he wanted to score. Like he really was taking that serious for sure.
They were the
But
opposite of us. I mean, honestly, they came out with a clear plan, a clear idea of what they wanted to do, and they executed.
yeah, they definitely did. But it was a
That's not a bad
situation.
thing either. That's not a
No,
bad
no,
thing.
no,
it's
not at
not.
all.
It's just the fact of what happened.
But it was just a feel of like, if I was a Chiefs fan, I would have been like, oh, they didn't really give my guys any work. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm expecting to come out here and expect my corners to try to run with the wide receivers and stuff, and it was kind of a lot of little like screens and stuff like that where it's like, I didn't get no
Another
work.
responsibility. I mean, like I said in the
Yeah,
thing,
true.
I mean, you can tell they were very intentional. They were very intentional in what they wanted to do. They brought their entire first string team out there, and they said, we're going to have the flow. We're going to go down here, and we expect to score. And that's exactly what they did. I mean, when you do that, like you say, you're being you're trying to get that chemistry going quick. You're trying to get that. And another team that did that last year, me and Mike talked about it in the preseason games last year. The Atlanta Falcons were very much like that early. We were sitting there like, wow, they're bringing out their whole team and they're showing a lot.
Yep.
And it carried over into the season of you seeing that, them basically doing what they wanted
They
to do in
didn't.
preseason. And it carried over early, even though, we know it happened late. But anyway, they ain't gonna do it. But yeah, I mean, hey, kudos. Ain't nothing wrong with what they did.
Right.
That's what I was trying to say in that chat. So I already know that was the direction that
You got to come out, man. What you have to do, man. What you have to do. If they doing that, man, I applaud them for that, because what they're doing, they teaching healthy habits. You understand?
I agree.
I'm saying throughout.
We're losing you again, Uptown.
I also think they can do that because, I mean, it's just no really secret in what the Saints are trying to do. Offensively and defense, they still trying to do the same kind of stuff that when Sean Payton was there. So it's like
That's a good point.
It's not like you're trying to hide your hand or trying to hide your offensive philosophy.
That's a good point.
But as far as why we don't have Uptown here, as far as somebody who played really good for the Saints, there's a guy that I like at Wake Forest, a local guy, and that's A.T. Perry. Looked good in the game. 6'5", fast receiver, went late in the draft, but was a phenomenal receiver at Wake Forest, and he looked good today, from what I've seen.
Yeah, I thought they were able to. They did a little everything, and Alvin Kamara looked really good. Looked fresh.
Yeah.
Look like he's ready.
Yeah.
So it's great for him to get this work in, especially since he's going to be out for those 3 games. That's why I think the Miller injury is going to hurt them because they already have Alvin Kamara out. Now Kendre Miller is going to be out. Now you just have Jamal Williams. So that Kareem Hunt, they're going to be trying to.
Yeah, they definitely spinning the block back on Kareem Hunt again.
Yes, they are. But
I think Kareem Hunt signed to somebody though already.
He went to
visit the Colts after y'all, and then didn't sign. Then he went to visit Minnesota. My whole thing with Minnesota is if you're gonna do all that to get Kareem Hunt, why you didn't just keep Dalvin Cook?
The money was gonna be different. So
different.
Yeah, and I understand. But yeah, I thought they did a little both. They screened and they stretched the field. I thought it was a great touchdown pass by Derek Carr in the end zone. Great catch. I thought Jameis Winston looked just like Derek Carr the second series. So they were able to execute with both groups really well, man. So kudos to them because I think they can hit the ground running if they're doing it this way because that's what Atlanta did. The problem is, will it phase out later on in the season? I don't know, but I doubt it.
Yeah. It's tough because again, you see them and they look like out of all the teams, I think we all agree, out of all the teams, they look like they're ready for week 1 right now. But then you look at it and you say, well, is that because exactly what T. Melvin was explaining? They already know who they are. They already know what they're trying to do. You know what I'm saying? It's comfortability. Obviously, Derek Carr wasn't there last year, but I mean, he's a veteran. And even though I think Mike's the only one that believes he's like top 10, top 15, he could come in and he'll learn this and do the easy stuff, right? Do the stuff that's easy to do, and he'll figure it out. And they got John Gruden in there trying to help him learn the verbiage and all that stuff. So they definitely look like the team. Even their O-line, like I ain't gonna lie, I didn't like seeing their O-line pushing people around, and they were definitely doing that. So they look like they're already ready for week 1.
I know Chris Jones is thinking, yeah.
That's a fact. I didn't even think about that.
It's like he gonna get paid because Kansas City couldn't do nothing.
That's a fact. That's a big fact. Let's.
I'm gonna say. Let me say this too. Like, can I say something right quick? I think that there was certain moments because I did get a chance to watch y'all game. I saw y'all game. But I think there were certain moments in y'all game, man, that y'all was robbed of opportunities and stuff because I did not like the refereeing in that game, and I mentioned that on a couple of occasions inside of that chat.
Yeah,
I thought that there was some really bad calls that went against Tampa yesterday. I really do, and I saw them. Now I don't know if that could have changed the complexion of that game or not. I'm not the one to say that or not. But I did see several calls that was really, really bad calls that was called against Tampa yesterday.
I personally don't think it would have changed anything. We were the way it felt, and DJ, obviously, I want your opinion because you're the other Bucks fan here. The way it felt for me was we were literally just calling plays, trying to see who can do what, basically. And I think a lot of what I saw, because I broke down some film today on my channel, what I found was a lot of times where we looked really bad on the O-line, it was us trying to do some like weird type of like end around with the O-line, or we had a play where the tight end was on the right side at the end of the line, and our running back was on the left side of our quarterback. And when we hiked it, the running back ran around the quarterback to help the tackle, and the tight end ran back the other way under the quarterback to basically block what the running back could have easily blocked if he just would have stayed on that side. So it was like we were doing some weird, like very complicated type of blocking, and there was a couple of times where it really cost us that our offensive line just wasn't fast enough to do what they were trying to ask them to do, and they just got beat real quick. So there was a few things like that. But how did you feel, DJ, about that preseason 1 game? Like, what is your thoughts on it?
I mean, I guess on the positive side for me, it definitely was it's a little refreshing, right? I mean, it's nice to see, over going off the field, us rolling out and throwing somebody wide open. We're not, basically didn't have to beat them to be open. And you know what I'm saying? Like just stuff like the reverses, they showed more speed. A lot of Bucks Twitter or Bucks noise, which I tried my best that same night to kind of quiet a little bit, with Luke Gedeke hate. I mean, Luke Gedeke is now the new Jameis Winston. I mean, in our fan base right now.
The new Donovan?
Or the new Donovan, whichever one you want to
yeah, right.
Either you like him or you don't, right? It is what it is, right? So anything that looked really bad, it's like, oh, there go Luke, right? Because I was telling everybody, because I watched the game, and I paid attention. I was on my office line myself, and I was telling people, I was like, Cody Mock is struggling more, which, is a little concerned, because I remember seeing that picture of the whole offensive line with Tristan Warbs, Filer, Mock, and Gedeke. And Gedeke was, Mock is small. Like, he was a college, and, he still got that smaller build. It was a little concerning. And, my fear is this guy's being, since Jason Light has drafted Ali Marpet, he's been wanting to get smaller school players that were tackles and slide them into guard, right? I mean, we watched that with what's your boy name that ended up going to Cincinnati?
Kappa.
Ali Marpet, who was the best. Ali was a dog, right? Kappa was good. He was average, a little average play, whatever. He was cool. And then we got obviously Luke that we tried to slide inside, terrible. And Cody, another smaller player that moves well. Good feet and everything like that, but still a little small. They put him in the inside.
Yeah.
And it just caught my eye watching him. And the problem, I think, that makes things worse that Gedeke's trying to learn or relearn being on the outside. And you got a young player that's never played in the inside, which, stuff people been talking about that. But now that we got to actually see it, it's going to be a little concern, something to watch going forward. But overall, I didn't think Gedeke was horrible. I mean, I've seen horrible. We watched that all last year. That was hard. But was there spurts where you're sitting there, he gets off balance? But the one player everybody wanted to try to kill him about, the tight end got off the ball late. And, I'm happy somebody on Twitter finally was a little smart and showed the tight end got off late, and it got in Gedeke's way, and he got around real quick. And,
I saw that one too.
That was a bad play if you didn't understand what was going on there. And I was like, that was just from a execution standpoint, just looked bad. But overall, I was just happy to see, going back to just the offense in general, it looked different. I was tired of the vertical that we saw with Cutter and BA's offense. Especially BA. Obviously, it hit his peak Super Bowl 13-4 year, and then obviously when he left, all of it left. Some of the players left. That
okay. What looks so different, man? From this offense as opposed to the offense that you guys was running.
There's a lot more motion.
And let me ask you a question, right? I don't think it left with you. He's not still with y'all, is he?
No,
he's on the couch chilling, watching TV.
Okay, so who's y'all offensive coordinator now?
Canellis, Dave Canellis.
Former quarterback coach for the Seattle Seahawks.
Okay, now what's the difference in the offense now?
His offense is more of they like to call it the more modern offense. It's like he basically learned a lot of his stuff off of branches of McVay and Kyle Shanahan. They're some of the Shane Waldron. I can't even think. Schottenheimer, son. A lot of them are doing more of that, like make everything look the same, and you can run multiple things out of it. You can run, you can play action off of it. You're doing more wide zone running opposed to just duo type, what is it called? Up the middle type. What's that? Like more of a man-to-man
Power.
Power. There you go. I couldn't think of it. Power running scheme. Now we're doing more stretch. Need more athletic linemen. You're trying to keep D linemen and defenses off balance. So you're kind of using more angles than you are just straight. It's me against you, and that's what we did more of earlier, especially more recently with BA and them. It's kind of man on man. You got him. You're pointing out who you got. Now this, you're more trying to make holes. Basically going horizontally. That's what we've not seen that since. I don't think we've ever seen that here in Tampa. So that's one of the big differences that is going on with we're not going to be doing long stretch running. Passing plays and power.
And our passing game is
T-Money.
T-Money.
What's the word?
Hey, T-Money.
Yeah.
What y'all do? Are y'all running a 3-4 over there or 4-3?
3-4.
No, what is y'all? That shit is a little different. Didn't y'all run a 4-3 last season though?
Yeah. We're running 3-4 now because Avero is from the Dom Capers and Vic Fangio tree. So we're going 3-4, playing Derek a little bit more at nose tackle. And we're also going back to letting Jeremy Chin play hybrid. So not just playing safety, but playing safety and linebacker at the same time.
So who y'all project to be y'all full linebackers?
Right now it would be Frankie. It would be Frankie. It would be Shaq. It would be Brian Burns is technically your outside linebacker, but he pass rushing most of the time. And then they having a fight for the other side.
Well, it's Justin Houston.
Well, I forgot about Houston. We just signed Justin Houston.
Well, so that means right. So Burns, he's not going to be playing a whole lot with his hand in the dirt no more.
No.
Right.
Wait, you think that's a problem?
It's a transition, man. I don't know if I know that's a very talented dude. He can probably. It's a possibility that he can figure it out. But that is something different to consider. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think with his skill set.
I think that's what he always wanted to play,
he's talented. I think he's talented enough, and he's a smart enough player to figure it out. But who knows? He may not figure it out right away.
Right, you're right. That is a transition period.
I mean, that is a thing. But I think personally, he's wanted to be a 3-4 outside linebacker.
Yeah, I think this plays more to his strength
because he's always tried to, our fan base.
How can y'all say that played into his strength, bro? When he, with what he's been doing and shit, he's been looking pretty strong doing that.
Well,
so I don't know.
He's played it before. He's played it before under Ron Rivera, before Matt Rule. And so he's had some taste in it, and we've seen it. And so he was productive doing it. So,
and not only that, Brian don't necessarily. I mean, he's decent at it, but he rather be in pass rush mode all the time than necessarily worrying about trying to set the edge and stop the run.
Facts.
Also, we know normally sack wise, 3-4, you're gonna normally get more sacks. So you're trying to, especially in a contract year, you want to be a 3-4 guy where you just getting after the quarterback. And also, Brian, and we know you might know that his brother Stanley McClover damn near talk more than Burns do, but Burns been wanting to show that he could really drop back in coverage, even though a lot of our fan base hate when he do it.
Yeah. How so he's decent in coverage. That's what I was gonna say when you said that he'd rather just sit there and pass rush all the time. Well, if he's gonna be in the 3-4, he's gonna have to cover. So gonna have
Yeah.
to cover a little something here and there.
So who gonna play? So who playing defensive end in y'all scheme again? Who's that?
A mix of Shy Tuttle that we got from y'all, a mix of Deshaun Williams who we got from the Broncos.
Definitely Derek Brown. So
Well, I
Yeah.
know you're gonna say I'm hating, bro, but I don't think Shy Tuttle gonna be able to do that.
what in
Late
3-4?
defensive end.
You're gonna have to prove. Yeah, you're gonna have to prove me wrong.
Well, I think they might. Well, I mean,
And
from what we've seen yesterday,
no hateration, holleration, or none of that either.
In this dancery,
It's a transition. It's a transition for him too. He's been a 4-3 guy.
but I think they trying to play. Well, from what I've been seeing, might have a different opinion. But are they? To me, it look like they've been trying to play
They might
Derek
be,
at nose though.
that's what I would have thought.
No, well, they got McCall at nose, but they have shown him at nose because it's been weird, man. It's kind of like it's been sort of like looking like a 4-3 because I saw two interior linemen at times, but then they had the outside linebackers, whoever they were, kind of walked up but standing up, and then you had your nickel group out there. So it seemed very light. And if you're going to bring that type of defense out there in this division that seems like they want to run the ball more, I think we're going to have some problems.
Because all teams are going to do is just double Derek, and then now DB going to have to be the double every single time.
Right.
Which he can do sometimes, but every single play, I mean, he going to get tired.
Well, there's a lot of we're kind of in the same boat in a way because like I've said before, I think we're very talented, but we're really young. Like our depth and everything is young as well. Inexperience would be the better word for it. So I'm worried about a lot of run fits and like stopping the run and stuff like that as well because we got a lot of inexperience on the D line. But thankfully we brought back William Golson, who was pretty much stopping the run by himself in the preseason game.
They played him late, which was interesting.
They had him out there.
Yeah, he was playing. I think the whole second half he played damn near. But, going off of that, obviously Logan Hall. Where is he? Is he even out there?
He was out there. I seen he was.
I was know he's out there, but he ain't doing it. I mean,
He had some pass rush. I seen him. He had some pass rush, and he was doing better with the run stopping. He definitely got better.
Better than him. I want to see more of Mike Green.
Mike Green did look nice.
I called him out last year. I thought Mike Green looked good last year. You see, he's even developing a little better now. I want to see more of him. And I just had the other person inside that I want to see a little more if Logan Hall isn't going to flash a little more than he hasn't. And Patrick O'Connor. I mean, he's been around for a while, so he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, he's a veteran.
He seems like he's coming within his own. And I'm interested to see if they're going to put some more combinations out there if you don't see more of a flat. Because if we saw Kalaje Kancey do what Logan Hall did, we were going to be sitting here like,
here's the thing. They were double teaming Logan, though. That's why Connor was by himself a lot of the times. They were double teaming Logan.
They were not double teaming Logan.
Yes, I promise you they were double teaming Logan. Right, well, I promise you.
Give me the tape because
I'll put a tape up.
He just fell into the block and that was it. It was over. It wasn't much coming out of it. So
I will do that for sure.
With me, which Mike has been excited about McCall, but I don't really remember McCall being in there like that.
Real quick, 1 second. Wolf, I see you in the building. Wolf is in the building. Do you have a Twitter, Wolf? We had a Falcon fan that was supposed to come up here, and he's been lollygagging. He ain't came in here yet. Do you have a Twitter? So we can maybe send you a link one of these days, maybe today, if you can jump in here real quick and talk about the Falcons, because we're talking about the Bucks, and after that, we got the Falcons next up, but we don't got a Falcon representative up here. So if you are, hopefully you're still listening and you didn't just come in just to salute, but if you got a Twitter, let me know the Twitter so I can hit you up on Twitter. And if you're down, you could jump in here real quick, talk about what the Falcons, how you feeling about the. Oh, there he goes. Now he want to jump in. Yeah. Yeah. Got you.
Yep.
I got you.
Hey, I got to go.
Oh no, Mike, bring that ass here, boy. Bring that ass here, boy. Let me get the mic set. Hold up. We lit. Okay, we got the mic going. No, man, I was waiting for RTP to start talking shit about me, man. Then
I figured.
I'm lollygagging.
I figured.
You know. I'm like, this is the perfect time to pop in. What's good, fellas? What's going on?
What's
man?
going on?
Hopefully y'all had a good weekend, man. Hopefully you enjoyed. You was very satisfied with what you saw from your teams, good, bad, or indifferent. So, me personally, you know, Atlanta Falcons, man, I feel like we did the damn thing this weekend. Very, very pleased. But man, I'm very interested. I may have missed Mike and T Money. I'm very interested to see what they had to say about the Carolina Panthers.
Well, you're gonna have to go back and rewatch it.
Okay. I guess thank God for the rewind button, baby. I would. Hey, it's gonna be a long next 3-4 weeks.
Basically, what they were saying was that they feel like it easily. They see that it's easily Bryce Young is easily going to be the best quarterback in this division, and that they can tell that their offense is going to be the best offense in this division. That's basically what they were saying. You know,
they know that's a goddamn lie. Like what we saw yesterday afternoon. That wasn't even preseason offense. That was like high school jamborees type stuff. Like, was that spring football, USFL? What was that? What was that showing? See, what people want to dismiss here, I think you got a poor coach that doesn't know how to get a team up to play. He has failed in Indianapolis. Then he comes in his first game in the Bank of America Stadium, and they drop not even a dud. They dropped a deuce. They dropped the shit on, their whole entire fan base that was waiting all offseason since the draft to watch Bryce Young in his first ever real live game. He looked like trash. Let's be honest. And we're not talking about Kyle Trash. Kyle Trash looked better than him. So if we're talking about the tier of quarterbacks in the NFC off of one preseason game, because if we was gonna prop him up without any games played, with one game played, with 3 series, that should be enough to knock him down to the worst quarterback in the NFC South. Desmond Ritter has not looked that bad. Baker Mayfield did not look that bad. We got tape on every other quarterback in the NFL, in the NFC South. We got tape on all of these quarterbacks. The one person that has tape looks garbage is Bryce Young. That's all we got to go off of. Is
came with the fuego.
3 drives. No, we got tape on Derek Carr playing. We got tape on Desmond Ritter. He got 4 games out there. He did not look this bad in 4 games. We got who else we got down in
he did. Sean, let's quit that, man. Let's quit that, man.
If you guys are so quick to vault him up to the top, why can't we knock him down just as quick? Why does the fall have to be slower than the rise?
We want you to we want you to underestimate us. So we
why is the fall slower than the rise? You put him on a pedestal when he didn't do it.
It's a preseason game, and he was
No, you cannot say it's just preseason because you put him ahead of Desmond Ritter. You put him ahead of Baker Mayfield and Kyle Trask before he took a snap. So now that we got snaps on the book, let me grade the snaps. With his grade, he gets an F. You're the worst in the class, baby. You're the worst in the class. You go to the back of the line. We gave him credit without taking a snap. Now that he's taking a snap, he goes to the bottom. I'm sorry.
Came in super
how it
hot.
goes.
Listen, hey, if
how it
like
goes.
Sean Jay says, if y'all can raise this man off of training camp clips, then we can bring him down off of preseason games. Like, let's just
3
say
drives is enough, right? What did he do to get put above Ritter, Mayfield, and Trask?
He didn't do anything.
Okay, but though you already gave it to him. You anointed him
We didn't
as
say that mess. That's what RTP said, man. We didn't come in
DJ.
saying that mess.
Come on now.
He's probably talking more. He's probably
Y'all-
talking more like Panther Twitter. Like you guys
Yeah.
had like the whole Cam Newton and all the quarterbacks between Cam Newton and Bryce. Like,
oh, that's a fact.
you know what I'm saying? Like I think they're talking more of that. I don't think they're talking about you in general because, like I said, you've been kind of now like, but Panthers Twitter has like been just like we found it finally. We good. We ain't worried about nothing. And then I think y'all were expecting
we can pull the recording. We can pull the recording from what I said last week.
but
All I said
this
is
is what I was saying though, man.
Cop and
Can I
please.
say something like that?
Yeah, please.
I want
Go
you
ahead.
to underestimate us so we can whoop your ass week 1.
Hold on. Go ahead, Uptown. Go ahead.
Dirty Bird.
See, now he went out. He was gonna say some
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I think he's going out again.
Yeah,
I mean, now you say you want to people to underestimate you, T Money. So now, off of one bad preseason game, now you're the underdogs. Now you want to play the underdog role. Oh,
stop
we're going to be
laughing, DJ.
underestimated. Like, no, you was just talking all this hot shit last week, the week before that, all of this Bryce Young, all in the Twitter DMs, posting all of these. Oh, he's dropping the ball in the bucket. Remember that? You had that argument, RTP. How many bucket shots did you see on yesterday?
he did though. He took some.
The only bucket that he hit was the trash can on the sideline of those overthrows that he was doing.
If we're going off of Desmond
hit,
Ritter
though,
standards,
man.
then he got what, 2 more games to throw a touchdown? So we good.
Okay.
That's big facts. Because I'm telling you, Ritter didn't throw a touchdown until the Bucks put their preseason squad.
Now you're comparing the number 1 draft pick, Wonder Boy, future of the NFL, to Desmond Ritter, 3rd round draft pick, who was not.
Trying to tell us he better.
Huh?
You just trying to tell
No,
us
I'm
he
just
better.
saying. Yes, I will. Right now, bro, what I've seen out of them, and both of them in NFL uniforms, I can say that Desmond Ritter looks better.
He was so good that
Your
y'all
guy
had to hide
looked
him.
lost, dog.
He was so
lost.
good
He
that
did
you
not
had
look
to hide
lost,
him.
man.
You hide
He
him
looked
right. You
lost.
still hide him. Y'all been hiding him all
He did not
offseason,
look
and then
lost.
you hit
He
him
was going through
preseason week 1.
progression.
Hey man, Desmond Ritter came out the gates in the Superdome. Took the team down the field to win the game. Drake London fumbled the ball on 4th down. He hit him on the perfect pass. So we're talking about Desmond Ritter, who the first time you saw. If we're talking about preseason Desmond
got
Ritter
you,
last
Wolf.
year, do you remember last year Desmond Ritter in the preseason as a rookie? Going down in Detroit, throwing the game-winning touchdown on the last play of the game. But we're talking about Bryce Young, who can't do a damn thing. He's the number 1 draft pick, future of the NFL.
Sean,
Like
y'all
what
put your whole
what talent flashed yesterday that I should be scared of?
We
You
remember
put your
from
whole
last
playbook
preseason
out.
Mariota winning that job. That's all we remember.
And you
Okay.
put your whole playbook out in preseason. That's why part of the reason you got on a hot start early in the season because you were
Mike
already
did,
in
Oh, you
game
guys
mode.
are holding back. You're holding back. Okay, got it. Holding back.
Who's holding
You'll
back?
see week 1.
We should have
Oh, you
said
talking
that
about
before a
us?
game. Like, hey guys,
Facts.
we're
Y'all play
holding
week
back.
1.
Right. We're
You'll
holding
see
back.
Well,
That
like
hate
T
week
Money
gonna be
said,
crazy.
like T Money said, man, there's been all kind of different spots we put players in. You didn't see any of that. This whole goal was mano y mano. Can you be the better person than the other person on the opposite side? And what we saw is what we got.
Man, we saw Bud Crawford versus Errol Spence yesterday. That's how bad they beat y'all at every turn.
Yeah.
Wow.
The guys were Errol Spence
You know when
yesterday.
we not gonna see that. You know when we not gonna see that week 1.
Okay.
Sean,
I mean,
Y'all
it's hard to
offense
believe you,
too
T
now.
Money. You told me that Bryce Young was it, and then I haven't. I mean, you forgot to put the you forgot to put the SH in front of
Wait a
it though.
minute now,
You
Sean.
told me he was
said
it, but you
CJ
forgot to
Stroud
put
was
the
better than
SH
Bryce.
in front of it.
You said CJ Stroud was
That
better
might
than
have went
Bryce.
over
If
your
we
head.
going
I think
strictly off of one
listen to that
preseason
again.
game, is CJ Stroud better than Bryce?
Hell no.
I saw. I did
Bryce
see.
strictly
I
on
saw
one
CJ
preseason
come
game.
back being
You wanted
aggressive.
CJ over Bryce. You said he's better. So if we going off
CJ
of one
and
game,
Anthony Richardson didn't look better than Bryce.
Just because they threw an interception, at least
No.
they were. No, did you watch
Just 'cause how
Anthony
they look.
Richardson,
CJ
dog?
Stroud looked
Did
antsy,
you
he looked
did you
scared.
watch? Hold up, did you watch Anthony Richardson or did you see the Twitter clip? Did you
I
watch the
watched
game?
Anthony
You
Richardson.
did not watch the game because if you watched the game, you saw the young man come back on the next drive
he did.
and take the ball down the field and make some good throws. So he really stood tall after that interception. So
Hold
not to
on.
say, yeah, that he threw a bad interception, but for what them guys put on tape, I saw better on tape
And
from
I already
Trash. I
said
saw.
Hold on. Let's see if Uptown can speak if he can say his piece that he was trying to say.
Hey, this is what I was saying. I still stand by my assertion that I'm not going to indict, the Panthers and stuff based on what I seen yesterday. Like I say, they had a lot of stuff that was new. They didn't even have. They was even experimenting, with the play calling and stuff too. After I didn't found that out listening to this hangout tonight. Because I mean, what we gonna say next week if Lil Bryce go out there and light it up? You know what I'm saying? It's just the first preseason game, man. You understand what I'm saying? Everybody just really need to slowly roll.
There's a
and
little
set
history to
things in
this.
perspective.
Hey,
Don't matter. My man speaking logic.
let me say
Logic.
something. Uptown, definitely, bro. What you're saying is 100% spot on. It's the
Yeah.
preseason. It's the first game of preseason. But the caveat to this is that this was not the setting before the game.
Right.
Right. So this was not the preemptive. Oh, it's just preseason. It's week one. If Bryce Young would have came out and balled and threw 2 touchdowns yesterday, we wouldn't have got this. Oh, it's just the preseason.
Oh, yeah.
It's just
That's
week
a
one.
fact.
They will be on fire. They will be saying that they're about to tear the
That's
league
a-
down.
Hold
They're
on.
killing the Falcons.
That's
But
fact.
since they look like
Okay,
trash,
I
they
was
can
just
come
gonna
out and
ask.
say,
I was gonna ask
oh,
Mike.
we're splitting play calls. All this. No, you
You
can't take
still are
that
tearing
back
the league
seat
up this
now
year. That shit don't
because
change
the
nothing.
pedal would have been to the metal if Bryce Young would have balled yesterday. So it's just like you guys eating crow. I would have had to eat crow today. I would have had to listen to you guys tell me how great Bryce Young was. But now, since the shoe is on the other foot, I'm gonna put my foot on your neck. I'm sorry, because
Okay.
you
It
would have
don't
did me the
change
same way.
nothing.
Getting
It
the
don't
analysis
change
now,
nothing.
huh?
If Bryce would have,
Okay,
if Bryce,
all right.
if they
Now
would have
I see.
looked great
Now I see.
yesterday, I wouldn't have got a pass saying, "Oh, don't worry about it, Sean J. It's the first game preseason. I'm not even going to say nothing to you
For
about it."
sure,
Man,
Wolf.
we'd have
For
gotten
sure.
clips. They'd have had clips in that chat all day long. Right? They would have woke up. They would have started this live stream. You wouldn't even had to wait, RTB.
It's Sunday, man. I was
You see the flip side I'm talking about? So if they want to see why Sean J, why are you getting at Bryce Young? Like it would have, if the shoe would have been on the other foot, they would have been getting at me.
Yeah.
So I gotta
I'm
take my
still
shot.
confident in
The
my
shoe was on the
quarterback.
foot. You would never would have showed up.
Oh, I would have showed up.
Okay.
I would have
see
showed
what
up.
you're doing. I see
I would have had some type of defense built in where I was gonna angle up out of it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I was gonna angle up out of it, but I would have
We know
showed
how
up.
we do. We know how we do.
Okay, so
I was not gonna go out like Errol Spence in here.
Why this man talking crazy though? For anybody who's watching right now, go check out my video from earlier where I broke down Bryce's throws.
Yep.
I'm still confident in my quarterback.
Oh,
You
'cause
still got to worry about him week one.
And I expect you to be, brother. I
Hold
expect
on.
you to be confident.
But Bryce wasn't. I'm telling you, Bryce was. Hey, look, Bryce handled his business out there.
Bryce did the best he could do for the situation that was happening. I think we all understand that. Like again, Sean J he's basically giving you guys medicine to the fever you guys had before all this went down in the game. You know what I'm saying? Like there was some Bryce Young fever going on in training camp and clips of this and clips of that and Peyton Manning this. Like, there's a lot of.
I caution them guys, right?
And I still stand on what I said last week. What did I say last week? What I said last week?
That's how we like it, though. That's how we like it, Mike.
What it also is,
There you go. Stand tall. Exactly.
What did I say last week? I'll pull up the clip. All
They
I
didn't
said
expect their
is
offensive line to look the way they did. I mean,
That's it.
That's the part that I know because Mike was really. He was like, I'm ready to say it's the best offensive line in the NFC South. I think that was very concerning what he watched.
Did you say anything about that, O-line?
Hold on. I said
DJ?
Atlanta. I said, let's be real. I said I think Atlanta, if I had to choose, initially I said Atlanta. DJ, you talked to me and we talked about this and said Atlanta can't pass protect. So if we're going to really use an overall line, it's probably Carolina's. And I said, you know what, you're right. But I was leaning more to Atlanta. Now, I did say that the Saints, I thought the Saints would have the worst offensive line, and they actually looked really good.
I didn't think. I mean, I thought. Listen, I didn't think Atlanta had a good offensive line. I didn't think you guys had a good offensive line. I knew what Saints had already. I think personally, the Bucks. Obviously, we didn't know what we had, but I figured there could be a definite chance that we have the worst offensive line. I still don't know what we have, to be honest, but we'll see. We'll figure it out. But yeah, I definitely thought Saints were going to have the best offensive line out of everybody, to be honest.
Hey, and T Money, I know that they might, and I hope that they, I heard you say they might. But as it stands, man.
Yeah, we definitely look better than y'all.
Right, we look bad.
Uppers, like, yo,
Mike, though, the biggest issue is your guy.
No, he's not a starter, so he's not the biggest issue.
Michael Jordan not a starter.
They were all the issue. I mean, the whole line looked bad, though.
Look,
they say that. Hey, Mike, how can the Falcons pass protect? The Falcons gave up one more sack than the Carolina Panthers last year.
Why you ask? I didn't say that.
I'm just saying.
He coming for me, man. I didn't say that.
No,
I said I put Atlanta here. He coming for me with that. Now I'm gonna take it back down. But look,
Atlanta can't pass protect for shit. That's what I heard.
Had Icky Aquanu look bad.
One play.
It wasn't one play. He gave the pressure came from the left side when that long pass, the short one to Laviska Shenault. They were trying to make passes and he got hit. He looked bad. He had probably the worst pass grading in PFF if they did it already.
You already know 4-man rush.
Cade Mays looked bad.
Well,
what I'm saying is that
4-man rush said one of the plays they gave him a negative on. It looked so bad because the right guard was getting pushed back to Bryce.
Look, we had starters out there with Bryce Young. We did not put our backups out there like Tampa did when they had, backups from the center to the left side.
You think Brady gonna start over Chandler?
Yes, we ain't even seen Chandler play. How can we say he's gonna not be a starter?
I don't like Brady at guard personally.
The Carolina Panthers preseason performance, I'm not taking it as face value and saying this is what we're gonna be, but this team looked like they didn't belong in the NFL. It was that bad. They had 30-something yards in the first half, if I'm not mistaken.
32.
Hey, Mike. Hey, man. Hey, Mike, I appreciate you.
I ain't mean like that, but I just.
Hey, that's my job, Mike. That's my job. Let me do that. Let me kick your ass real quick.
Well, K made damn sure ain't.
I'm Eminem in 8 Mile. I'm gonna get you before you get me.
I see what you're doing.
I don't think neither of them guards is gonna be the guards we rock with this year.
Well, we ain't got nobody.
Who you gonna pull out? Who you pulling out the bag? Right? Who's in the tuck?
You better hurry up and do it so they could get some continuity together, man.
A rookie that has not practiced.
Well, Austin Corbett playing right guard whenever he's ready. Week 1, week 2.
It's probably gonna be week 4 plus.
They said he was faster than what they thought.
It's gonna be week 4 plus,
but
unless you want
making a change like that during the season, which now you're messing with the chemistry again.
Exactly.
And then I've never liked Brady as a guard. Brady to me is backup tackle.
He's the starter right now.
And then they said, what you call it? Said Jensen been having a good camp, but he banged up right now too.
Man, that's crazy.
So they got all kind of questions. Is the moral of the story, bro?
Lars is the question to me. The rest of the line, I'm straight with.
Yeah, everybody in this division line is bad, but ours better get it together next week.
How is the Falcons line bad, bro? We got a top 5 offensive line in the league.
I'll just say this: it didn't feel like that when we
Top
played, but
5.
Yeah, us either, man. I'm
It
not.
didn't feel like that when you play. Okay. Did you
no.
watch the fourth quarter of the game? How do you think the Falcons got back in the game in the fourth quarter?
Because they had their preseason squad out there.
No, I'm talking about the first game when they had the Grady Jarrett phantom penalty. We ran the ball down their throats to get back in the game. Like we didn't even throw the ball. We just ran. We
Yeah,
just
what,
continued to run.
what was our?
I mean, y'all did that all last season. I'm not counting that, but the thing is that I see is you're running. You would think that team is so nervous about your run that you would be able to pass protect a little better when y'all drop back. But you know, Mariota was he could not. He was moving. He could not throw. Ritter was damn near the same thing. Y'all can run block for days. Like y'all are the best running block team in this division. Not even a question. But the pass blocking is very sus. I mean, from left to right. Listrom is straight.
I think that's cap. But Jake Matthews.
I don't even know if they just we had some crazy.
I mean, T Money. I think you should skip this one. The offensive line that we saw yesterday, my brother. Skip this conversation. You offensive and line should not be in any of your sentences for the rest of the night.
That we had last year. So I mean,
Do not even skip this. Sometimes, hey man, sometimes it's good to just sit this one out.
I'll be back.
On your neck, boy.
Did we see?
I got the clip. He said gonna be on your neck. It don't matter who we talking about. If we talking about goddamn Arizona Cardinals, motherfucker. He gonna find a way to get his ass back to the Panthers, boy. He on you.
No,
he can as much as he wants to till he gets smacked week 1.
Okay. So now, see, you see how it done switched RTP. They done pulled all the way back. Now you just see week 1. They don't have anything else to say because they got exposed yesterday.
What did I say? What did I say last
They didn't
week?
get reality just sunk in. That's all it is. Reality sunk in of
What did I say
okay,
last week?
What?
we do have a rookie quarterback. We got some things to figure out.
There's gonna be some struggles, but I asked them like, "Yo, you guys are not even prepared for any struggles from Bryce Young." That's what I said.
Didn't struggle.
Okay, he didn't struggle.
That he had to deal with, right? I mean,
But no, that's a part of the game. Like, did he make any second
Bryce
plays?
had one throw.
Did he make any second plays? He only threw underneath the whole game. I don't think he threw over 10 yards. And every time he threw over 10 yards, it went out of bounds.
One of our drives started at the 2. What do you want? You want him throw? You want him
Oh,
to
sorry.
Don't stop you
That's
from.
not football. I'm sorry. That disqualifies him. It started at the 2. He needs to be at the 20 to 25-yard line for it to qualify as a drive for Bryce Young.
Most teams is
Mike will be back.
Like, you don't think that's a scenario for him to work with? Like, that's what preseason is about. Preseason is about situations, situational football. He needs to have that work of him being backed up on his own goal line and see how he can get up out of there. Like, that's a part of, like, the preseason reps, brother.
He tried.
Like, that's not an excuse to say he was too close to the goal line.
Take the L, man. Throw the goddamn towels. Just let it go, man. It didn't look good. What y'all wanted to do, y'all wanted to look like the Saints did their first drive, and they came out there, touchdown, went down the field, touchdown. That's exactly what happened. It didn't happen. We'll go to preseason 2. Hopefully, it'll be cleaned up a little bit.
Okay, and because that didn't happen, now I'm supposed to say, hey, Atlanta's blowing us out by 25.
Why you keep going there? We're not even there.
We're not talking about that. We're just talking about the game, my brother.
You expected to happen. That's what he's talking about. That's why.
We had issues on that offense. To me, Bryce wasn't one of those issues, and I'm saying that now, and I said that earlier.
Man, you just want to get your fucking ass.
That's what I'm saying. Bryce is not the issue, dog. Bryce is never going to be the issue.
We will see. We got week 2 is going to be coming right around the corner, man. Shout out to everybody watching. Hit that like button wherever you're watching this from. I see there's a lot of LinkedIn comments, so we got everybody watching from all kind of different places. So shout out to everybody in the chat room. Hit that like button for whoever you guys are watching that channel through. Listen. Speak a little bit about, because, Ritter didn't play. So speak on your preseason. What'd you like? Anybody that came out, any second-year player that you felt like, okay, he made a little jump, or what did you get from your preseason game?
Man, the theme of the Atlanta Falcons preseason game, man, was just a defensive clinic, right? So it was a defensive clinic from our backups. And you're going to say, oh, these are second and third stringers. Like, what significance does that have, right? Historically, for the last 10 plus years, our second and third stringers have been getting blown out the waters. The Atlanta Falcons had no depth. We was a team, like, we had starters, and then everything else was practice squad level. But now we're seeing, especially on the defensive side, that we got some playmakers and on our second and third stringers, as well as one player I want to highlight is my man DeMarco Hellman's the safety out of Alabama, rookie safety out of Alabama, baller, sticking folks, catching it. He's sticking you, and he caught an interception. So a big hitter, and he went and took the ball away. Five sacks, 3 interceptions, 1 forced fumble, and 1 forced fumble recovery. So four total turnovers, 5 sacks in all. From an Atlanta Falcons perspective, we don't see that, especially from our backups. So if our depth is doing that, once we put our starters in, we should see. Shout out to Zach Harrison. Zach Harrison has been balling the entire training camp. AK-47, I was going to get to him. Arnold Ebiketie, the spin move, strip sack, and recovery that he had, man. If you guys haven't seen that, go look that up. That was a straight vet pro move. That's the type of moves we want to see from him in year 2. So everything that the Falcons showed from the offensive game, we went down, ran the ball effectively in the first half, right down to a touchdown, holes gaping everywhere, which we will do. So imagine Bijan Robinson getting those same holes that we were opening up in the first preseason game. Then you got the defense turning up, man. So salute to the defense and salute to Arthur Smith and my man Ryan Nielsen. Ryan Nielsen, can't forget him. The aggressiveness that he has his team playing with on the defensive line and on the back end. Them guys going to take the ball away. 3 interceptions lets me know, man, that he has brought that New Orleans nasty dog style defense to Atlanta, right? And that's the streak that we needed to get us over the hump, because I think the Dan Quinn era, the fast and physical, we putting that to a side. We got bigger on the defensive line. We got more aggressive on the back end. So we're not playing that cover 3 type stuff. We're playing more man-to-man, and these boys are going out and they're going and taking the ball away. So I'm excited to see what we do next week and going into the year, man. So salute to the defense. Salute to the coaches for getting our team ready. It was a hell of a week. We dominated them in the trenches, in the joint practices, and we showed the same thing in the preseason game. So that's how you're supposed to do it, Carolina. And we went on the road and did that. The Jets came into your house and did that. But I'm not going to go off on that. But we went on the road. We stayed down there for 5 days, and we still came out of there on Friday kicking ass. So salute to the squad.
All right. Well, what about, was there anybody that might have been a starter or a competition? Because I tried to watch your guys' game, and obviously I was like, I don't know any of these players. So
no, other than like Arnold Ebiketie, right? So he is listed as the number one, one of the number 1 outside linebackers on the depth chart. So he is a guy that's going to see significant snaps, right? So D offered special teams, punt and return, so we may see him get more action there. But Arnold Ebiketie was definitely a guy that's going to see major snaps, and he proved himself by making plays in the game. So I think we like what we saw.
who you guys play next?
Cincinnati Bengals on Friday.
Ooh, that's good work right there. Good work,
man.
Sean,
First home game, preseason game. We'll get to see Desmond Ridder. So subscribe to my YouTube page. I will be dropping footage from the game. So I'll be at the game. I'll be taking live footage and dropping it. So subscribe, Falcons fan. If you haven't, you're going to see some footage from inside the Mercedes-Benz to get that fan feel that y'all guys love to see, man.
DJ, do you had something to say, or?
Well, I just wanted to know, because I did go back and watch our game. did you have more of a feel those first couple? I would say probably first quarter, second quarter. A lot of bend don't break. Y'all had a lot of that going on because they were moving the ball. Some of y'all were able to tighten up when y'all got in the red zone and make the stop. Because I saw a little more of that than just straight domination that you're trying to make it sound like it was. But I'm just saying.
Yeah, I think the guys did settle in, right? So you did see 2 drives of the bend don't break, but guys got off the field. First drive got off the field with an interception. So second drive got off the
You guys
field.
got 3 because they had like 4th down, I think twice, and they failed on both of them things. So
Is exactly. So when we talk about bend don't break, even then we're not giving up any points, right? We gave up 3 late in the fourth quarter. So even on the bend don't break, our guys still got off the field without giving up any points. And I don't want to give any excuses, say the guys got to settle in, whatnot, but they did what they had to do. They got off the field. They may
I
have
ain't want
given
to
up
come off
some
as hate.
yardage, but
I did what y'all need to do to get off the field. I'm not saying that.
we got off the field. I mean, because you could slice it and say, yeah, there's something, but at the same time, they got off the field because with the generic, because the first drives or so, you should be able to see something, right? In the first 2 drives, your offense should be able to show something. So we saw something out of Miami's offense on the first drive. We saw something out of the Falcons offense on the second drive. Same thing with the Bucks. We saw Baker Mayfield as well go down for a touchdown. The New Orleans Saints, we saw Derek Carr and Jameis Winston go down. And then with the Carolina, well, we're going to skip that. So
so let me ask you as far as your depth, is it because for us we feel like we have a lot of talented players, but there are a lot of inexperienced, a lot of youngsters. Is that how your guys' depth is as well? Or because I know you do got some veterans for sure as some starters, but what about the backups? Like, was there a lot of veterans out there playing, or was there a lot of just youngsters that you guys are trying to develop?
It was all youngsters, man. It was all youngsters. I think it was pretty much, second and third year players. I don't think you had anybody over like the third year playing, right? That I can
out there, which I thought
right. So it was a lot of backups. We are a veteran team, right? But we do got a young mix in there, right? So we do got Calais Campbell, David Onyemata, Grady Jarrett. So we got those type of veterans, Jesse Bates, AJ Terrell, who's a veteran now. AJ is a veteran now, going into his 4th year. So we got players that are considered vets, but we still got a mix of young talent to where if we can sprinkle 1 or 2 of them in at a time, to get them experience, but we don't have to lean on them, right? We don't have to lean on a lot of young talent. So I think that is really key. We got to lean on Desmond Ridder going into his 2nd year, but outside of that, I think we got a lot of veteran talent in different spots.
What about you guys, T Money? How's that? How's the veteran to youngsters on your team? How's that ratio like?
I mean, the offense, I feel like it's a mix on both. Now, depth-wise, it's a lot of young guys. But starters, I feel like it's a healthy mix of young and old.
Starters is a mix of young and old. What about the like after Bryce and them left? How's that like your backups?
Pretty much all young besides like the special team guys, like Sam Franklin that had a pick. He's a veteran, but he doesn't really play defense normally during the season. He's just pretty much one of our special team aces. Offensively, I think the only vet backup really that was in there a lot was Shy was in there some, and Shy was making a couple catches. Shy also was doing bonehead stuff because that's what Shy does. He tried to crack back and blindside somebody and hurt himself.
Who do y'all play next?
The Giants.
I came with the New York.
And y'all gotta go to New Jersey.
Yeah.
My hometown.
All right.
Man, Bryce on the road.
I'm trying to see who you know who we play next, DJ?
Yeah, we got the Jets.
Oh, facts.
Yeah, we got Jets
Duh.
next. But
That's right.
because when Sean came in hot, we didn't really get to finish the Buck talk. In regards to that, because he came in, he had no choice. But and overall, there was a lot of good things that I saw. With the offense line itself, it was good to see Aaron Stinney. I think I called with a BS holding penalty when he was holding.
Oh yeah, for sure.
BS. That boy Skull, he's our backup left tackle. I like what I saw out of him. I think he's going to be solid. At least with the offensive line depth. Obviously, Trey Palmer was mentioned. David Moore is running routes like we ain't never seen in Tampa. Like he's just out there getting open. And Keyshawn Vaughn, I don't know how you feel about him, but I want to see some more of Sean Tucker. I mean, I want him to kind of move back, and I want Sean to come up a little bit because I like what I saw. He didn't get enough reps, I don't think. That touchdown got called back, which I think was a hole, but it was a hell of a run. I think he showed the most explosive out of all the running backs. I think right behind him was Chase Edmonds, who's going to be a good depth piece to go out on routes. I don't know about blocking, but going out on routes, it'd be nice to have him. Like I said, we got a lot of young players that I wish I could have seen Raheem Jarrett.
Me too.
He's been lighting things up, so I'm looking forward to seeing him a little later. I think on the offensive side, I'm not, it was nice to see, Cade Warner, his father took a little picture. That was cute with Kurt Warner. But on defense, I want to see more Izzian. I want to see more Josh Hayes. Like Josh Hayes, when he on the field, that man's like a ball of lightning. Like he just whatever he ran, I think like 4.4, like a high 4.4. He more 4.3 on the field. That mug is a blur on the field at that slot position. I ain't see much from Merriweather. I don't know what to expect out of him. I thought KJ Britt looked very good. He looked a lot faster. He looked a lot more concise. He made decisions a lot quicker than we've seen in the past. So I was kind of counting out KJ Britt for the team before everything started. I see why he's number 3, and Servatier is going to be number 4 for now, behind obviously our starters at linebacker. But there's a lot of young talent. There's some good things I've seen. I want to see him kind of grow because the Jets is a very veteran team. We saw what they did against the Panthers. We don't want that to happen with us. So we're going to have a test. And I hope they're going up there knowing that. And it's going to be fun to watch next week with us, going up there and doing it.
So I mean, Britt looked better, but he still don't look like he's fast enough to play in the NFL to me. So I think he'll probably just be special teams.
He looked a lot faster this year than we've seen.
Yeah. I don't know. That's not what I seen. But
I got a question, guys, about your young talent. Right. We saw Trey Palmer make an incredible catch in the back of the end zone, right, from a great pass from Baker Mayfield.
The starter.
How do you think Trey Palmer fits into your wide receiving core?
Well, he's going to definitely start off, which I think the more impressive thing, I think he's going to be our kick return. I think he's going to start at least with kick. I don't know about punt return, but he's going to be probably wide receiver 4. I mean, Gage has looked good coming back from his leg injury, unless he gets another hamstring issue or something like that. Right now on the depth chart, he's wide receiver 4. I mean, I'm pretty sure that's where they have him right now. He's probably him and David Moore but they're 2 different body types, so I don't really know how they're gonna work that out. But
I think David Moore. Listen. Call it conspiracy. I think they're super high on Trey, bro. I think they're really high on Trey. I think they've been hiding that boy. I don't know why. They giving him routes that he's probably not even gonna run. That's what I think. I think we're gonna use him like Scotty. I think we're gonna be taking the top off with him a lot.
He can do a lot more than Scotty. He can run.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, he can. He can.
No,
I'm saying
Scotty, man.
What I'm saying is he can take the top off like Scotty is what I'm saying. And I think
a different Scotty in Atlanta, just by the way. He made some different plays in the preseason game. So Scotty was a vet that I missed. Scotty also spoke about being a different wide receiver than what he was with the Bucks when every time he got in, he said everybody knows Scotty's going deep. But so to give
Yeah.
Scotty some love there, Scotty came to Atlanta to do something different. So hopefully we can see that. But go ahead with Trey Palmer.
We'll see what he does if you guys just use him differently or what. But Trey Palmer, I think Trey Palmer's going to end up taking over for not this year, but I think he's going to end up taking over for Gage, man. I think they every time they ask Dave, right. I think every time they ask about
Evans, man.
No. Every time they ask Dave Canellis about the wide receivers, like his eyes are like, oh, Trey Palmer. That's the first person he talks about, Trey Palmer. And it ain't like Trey Palmer has had a training camp like Devin Tompkins. You know what I'm saying? Like he hasn't had a training camp like any of the other guys. But for some reason, that's the first. It's always the first wide receiver he talks about. And we seen, these plays that he ran when we in preseason. So I think he's gonna be a way bigger thing than we think he's gonna be for us. Maybe we might have to wait for next year for that. But yeah.
The expectation, that's the thing. Like you don't want to put two. I think that's what they're trying to do, right? That's why they got Gage.
Trying not to put the expectation on him is what you're saying. It could be.
Trying to be like you have to be that guy right now.
Right.
Be 3, but
right.
You're going to get playing time, which is cool. But we all have veterans in front of you that you don't have to be in that position yet.
Right. So, as far as David Moore, I mean, like you were trying to explain to Uptown earlier when he asked about what's the difference between our offense. One of the differences is that our routes get open not because of any route running. It's just easy routes that are just being open, just running across, and people are paying attention to the run game or the play action or whatever, and then they just come across and they're just easily open. So it's kind of hard to be like, yeah, David Moore's looking nice. I think it's just the play calling is just kind of easy for these guys. Geiger
running open that game.
Yeah, right? But that's what I'm saying. Open. Like he was
he can run routes like that pick that trash through.
Yeah,
was late.
Yeah, but I'm saying like it wasn't. But they're running open in zones though. You get what I'm saying? It's not like he's like man on man killing the dude. Like they're running. Yeah, it's a route, but it's not like it. Like all the routes that are happening are like the guy that can stop it is being preoccupied by another route. That's basically what's happening. Is guys are being preoccupied by the danger of another route, and so they have to kind of pick their poison. That's how I'm seeing it. So I'm not trying to play down to no wide receiver or nothing like that. Like even Geiger, like I think Geiger showed me a little bit more where I'm like, man, you really see the stop and go with Geiger when he did that comeback route with Trask, and he turned it up for like 23 yards or something like that. But you think he's practice squad?
He's practice squad.
He might because again, I think it's Evans, Godwin, Gage, Trey Palmer's definitely going to be there. Tompkins definitely making the team. There's no way they're not going to.
I'm telling you, David Moore's going to make it. I'm telling you, David Moore's going to make it.
He probably will because he's the veteran. You know what I'm saying? So and he knows the system better than everybody. Exactly. So that's why I can see Geiger being practice squad. I can see it. I mean, I can see it, but we'll see how it goes. As far as the weapons, we haven't even seen like Mike Evans and Chris Godwin and Russell Gage in this. Bruh, we haven't seen Rashad White. That's a fact. Yeah.
Rashad White, how's his injury situation?
Yeah, they said they're not.
They said he's fine.
They said it's not.
Okay.
He actually tweeted too. He said, "I'm fine. There's nothing to worry about."
Yeah, he said that.
So,
good.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. Preseason week 1 is always that game when you're like, "Oh, I'm fiending for more." They just gave you just enough to have fiend for more. So,
not the Carolina Panthers.
They starving out there, boy.
We all starving.
They didn't give him anything. Look at T Money had to go all. We saw you. They running. They can't hide, nigga.
They ain't hiding at all.
Well, we see you.
I was trying to wait for Mike to get back here, but I don't know when he's gonna come back.
You can call
Yeah. So anybody got any last things they want to talk about or any last questions or anything like that?
I guess it would be. Does anybody have any projections for what they want to see next week?
That's a good one. There you go.
Good one.
You want to go ahead and start, T Money? You said it.
Do we got enough time
Um,
for him?
Giants. I want to see a little bit more of our run defense. I don't know if Saquon gonna play or not, of course, yet, but I want to
Yeah, he
see.
definitely shouldn't.
I want to see how it's gonna look. But even if he doesn't, don't they have? They have James Robinson, don't they?
Oh, you talking about
The Giants.
I thought they signed James Robinson when Saquon was holding out.
Oh yeah. They did.
So I would be interested in seeing how our run defense looks. I do feel like we was talking about earlier, I want to see how they handle it with knowing that Derrick Brown's gonna get double teamed most of the time.
They got Matt Breida. Matt Breida started last week, and James Robinson came in. Right, and the headline on James Robinson is no burst. No burst. So Matt Breida is definitely has burst. So
yeah,
he'll give you a test.
So that would be the biggest thing. Of course, offensively, again with guards is going to be our struggle position right now. I don't know if Leonard Williams is going to play, but they have a nice interior defensive line, so that will be a test.
Kayvon Thibodeau out there.
the way he got ragged by Andrew Thomas? Good God. Anyway,
Andrew Thomas is a beast, though.
No way. He ragged the shit out of that boy. What?
I never really was the biggest Thibodeau guy, but I think he did all right when we played him.
I think he's close to it. Well, Jermaine Johnson is an FSU guy, so I love Jermaine Johnson. And we saw Jermaine Johnson pulling out the spin move that he learned from Brian Burns. But I don't. But now that you mention that, I really don't see that from Kayvon. I don't know what what Kayvon has in his tool bag.
Yeah,
Outside of maybe physicality, but
Yeah.
I don't really see anything else. But he might be overrated.
Other than that, I mean, I'll be the first to admit. Hopefully, we can move the ball a little bit better. And that's about it that I can think of off the top of my head. Because I don't think they're gonna really. I don't think they really gonna test our secondary like that.
Question is, are you gonna watch the next episode of Hard Knocks? That's the real question. Because you guys are gonna be on
Somebody
there.
got a way to watch it. I haven't watched any of Hard Knocks.
I haven't either. I gotta watch it too.
I saw first
I will
I don't have HBO.
make it an appointment to watch this one though. I don't have HBO, but I will find a link somewhere so I can get some inside scoop. I want to hear just Bryce Young. Do they have him on the microphone just saying?
Oh my
get hit in the
God!
back
Don't
saying,
do that.
I want to hear the breath go out of him.
Bro,
You know.
I know. Yo, listen, that is the wrong person to take those type of hits, man. He was getting hit hard. He got hit hard, bro.
What he got
That
up?
first
You
one,
can't
that
get
first
mad
one,
at him,
number,
though.
Oh no,
that
of
first
course,
one, number
but
94 laid on him when he got hit from
Yeah.
behind. 94
Yeah.
kind of landed on him. That could have been a
Yep.
penalty though. You're not supposed to land on the
yeah,
quarterback.
exactly. Yeah,
Well,
that's just man. Yeah, you don't want
One of
that.
the Jermaine Johnson ones was, in my opinion, a little late, but
I mean, Frank Reich did. I like what Frank Reich stepped up and said no, because the reporter, that chick that y'all have, that chick reporter, the black one, she tried to bait Frank Reich into saying that was a late hit. She's like, "Don't you think it was a little late?" And then Frank stepped up and says, "No, he's like, this is the NFL. Like, he didn't
There you
think it was
go.
late." I like, okay,
you go.
respect to Frank for that. Like,
Right.
yeah, like you could have tried to make it.
It's preseason. There's no benefit for him to take shots at refs.
Well, not only that, but the mentality, bro. Like I was saying with Bryce, and again, I don't know. It may be too early to be saying it, but I kind of felt like he started getting rid of that ball a little earlier than he wanted to. Because after he took that hit, you don't want that mentality of excuses. Like, oh well, no. This is NFL, bro. Suck it up. Don't worry about it. If it's late or not, make the throw.
Anyway, I mean, he took that excuse from the O lineman, and from what I heard, the O lineman and James Campen definitely had like a meeting after the game where they was establishing that that's unacceptable preseason or not.
Yeah, y'all had a position. Y'all had a position meeting after the game. That was really says a lot when the offensive line coach has to pull the entire offensive line aside from the locker room and to dig in their ass about how they play. You know,
Well, it's better than not doing it. But
man.
Sean,
Hey man, for me, Desmond Ritter, we get to see starters this week, right? We had our joint
that's
practice.
already for sure.
Yes, for sure.
Okay.
Arthur Smith going off the field of the Miami game on the off the field interview. He says Desmond Ritter and the starters will be playing next week. So we'll be seeing Desmond Ritter going up against the Cincinnati Bengals. I'm very interested to see how our defense holds up actually, right? Because last year against the Cincinnati Bengals, their wide receiving core tore us a new one, right? We went out to Cincinnati. They don't have Joe Burrow, but I want to see how we hold up against these wide receivers. But Joe Burrow does make a difference. But I
For
want to see
sure.
see us go up against this defense. I mean, this offense and get stops, get turnovers, get sacks. Can we repeat what we did last week? And offensively, can we take care of the ball? Can we have some explosive plays, but also get out of there healthy, right? So that's the big thing, man. Let's make some explosive plays. Let's get some turnovers. Let's show our force and our will on the other team, and let's get to the next week, man. That's all I want to see.
Is your starting defense going to be out there as well?
Yes. This is gonna be all hands on deck. I'm not sure if everybody like Calais Campbell. I'm not sure if we really
Right,
need to
right,
see
right.
Calais in the
Right.
preseason, but
For
this
the
is definitely
main.
gonna be an all hands on deck because I know our players like they physically dressed out, right? They
Right.
dressed out last week, so they could have been winning if they were called upon. So I'm interested to see the new form Falcons. I got a feel of our attitude and our intensity last week with our team. We know that we're going to be a run the ball, run it down your throat team. But defensively, the aggression that I saw, man, only excites me for better talent to get in. AJ Terrell, Clark Phillips III, who's coming back, as well as everybody on that defensive line. To see them play with that same aggression, man, big things on the horizon, baby.
There it is. DJ, how you feeling about the Bucks? What we looking for tomorrow? For next week?
Man, I'm still even killed because I'm still interested to see our approach. Right, we didn't start any starters this week, which I wanted starters to start because I knew we were having this joint practice. And if you feel like coach say all the time when you have joint practice and you feel good about the reps that you did in practice, they're not going to play in the game. So I was a little upset that we didn't put starters this week. So Todd Bowles already came out and said if we feel like we got good enough work, we're not going to start our starters. So again,
Right.
it's two now of not putting any starters out there. Will you put starters out there on week 3? So it's just like I'm still trying to get a feel, and I understand what he's doing. Right, I'm not like just ignorant to the fact of what he's trying to do. He knows a lot of young players that need that depth that he doesn't really know. And they have to shake this out. And I understand why he's shaking it out because he knows what his starters are. I mean, for the most part, the defense, I mean, how many new pieces do we have there? We got Ryan Neal, Kalaje Cansey, and that's it. Nothing's new over there, right?
Well,
He has Larry Foote, and apparently Rodgers will be calling the defense this week, right? Larry Foote called it this week. Next week will be Rodgers. So he's trying to, with Dave Canales, we did a lot of live call it time. Like there's a lot of moving pieces that he's trying to accelerate.
Get experience.
What he's doing, with
Yeah.
there is still a part of your starters are still your starters, and they need to see what game reps look like. But I understand if he doesn't,
I'm pretty sure we're gonna have a dress rehearsal week 3, the third preseason.
That's what it seems like it's leaning towards
because I think what's going on, bro. What I think is going on is why risk putting out our starters out there when we don't even know who the starting quarterback is going to be. Why risk that of them getting? And then it's like, think about who we're talking about. We're talking about Mike Evans, hamstring situations most every year, right? We're talking about Russell Gage, can't stay healthy so far with us.
That
What?
just reminded me of my question.
What?
So, because we all saw the report that Joe put, or whatever his name is, put out. So my question is, if it's a true quarterback competition, shouldn't Baker and Trask both be getting time with the number one weapons and O-line to really, if it's a real competition?
It's going to be hard to do that because that means now you have to play all your starters for a half.
Exactly.
That's where it was.
Exactly.
If it's a real quarterback competition.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
So this is going to be. I don't think it's. Look,
that's what we're saying. That's the reason.
I don't think there's a competition. I think it's just
there's a competition, bro. Okay, well we'll find out.
We'll come back with another thing. We'll talk about this and break this down.
But my whole point is exactly that fact that we're not gonna have our starters go out there for Baker and then have our starters go out there for Trask. It's too much. So we'll figure out with the backups. We'll figure out who's gonna be the starter, and then after that, week 3, then we'll have that starter who will have that whole week.
It might
be what?
How their work is going to come during those joint practices. So it's going to be interesting to see.
I think after we're gonna know. It'll be over after this week, and and like you said, it could be straight after the practice. They already know. So I think we're definitely gonna for sure we're gonna know, and then we'll have whoever's starting, and then for the whole 3 week, week 3. Preseason, going up to the preseason game, they're going to be with the starter, practicing with the starter. Then they're going to have the dress out in the game with the starters, and then they'll have the next week after that to practice. And then week 1, it is what it is, right there. But who are you looking for as far as like the things you're looking at for going against the Jets?
I want to see more of Logan Hall. I'm not like, oh, he's just terrible. I want to see more penetration because we're going to see him next to Vita because Kalaji's not playing right now, so he's going to get opportunities. And I mean, he was known, even though he got a little bigger this year, he was known for his quickness. I want to see him come off the ball and penetrate a little more. That was the thing I didn't see him do in the game. And even when they ran some wide zone running plays, I watched him get caught up in his feet and fall. Like I need you to show me a little more.
I'm gonna do that.
Huh?
I got you with the film.
I just really want more at Logan Hall. I want to see Luke Gedeke and Cody Mock look a little better this week. I mean, it's going to be hard because you're going against the Jets who have some dogs.
Yeah.
On that defense, so I want to continue to see growth out of them. And that's, like wide receivers are good. Like I said, I would like to see a little more Sean Tucker. Defensive wise, Servatier, I've heard so much.
Yeah.
Him. I want him to see him make a little splash play. I don't need him an interception. I just want him to see him, hit holes a little faster. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe knock a ball down, which we've been hearing a lot of coverage with him.
Yeah.
And Zion, I want to see you stay in your motherfucking gap and play the outside and stop trying to do somebody else's job and leak inside. You did that shit last year. Why are you still doing that?
Listen,
I see him in coverage, but man, this defense is predicated on stopping the run, and the cornerbacks are very important for that. And Zion, you can't get that shit right, man. You got to get that out of here, man.
I'm with you. I want to see more, even though I feel like we saw some, but I want to see more from everybody on the D line. You can never have enough good defensive. I just want to see domination.
I want him moved up too. That boy.
Yes. He came out of nowhere for me. Like,
yeah.
And he made a play today too. He made a play today too in practice.
No more. He better be in the second and third. That boy,
so yeah,
he got that country boy.
We might need y'all to team up for that.
That boy look like goddamn. Shuffling. Hey, just all day. Like he just
so we gotta see more from the D line, right? We gotta see more from the D line. I agree with you with Servatier. I want to see more splashes. I want to see I want to see all of it, interceptions, all that. I want to see more from him. I ain't gonna lie, man. Obviously it's preseason 1, but I was high on Keenan Isaac. I was high on our young corners, man, and I'm kind of now at the point. Yeah, I'm kind of like, all right, whatever. Like I kind of just gave it up. But obviously our O-line, we got to do better there for sure. We got to see that be better.
I don't think the O-line was that bad. Honestly, I don't really think. I think there wasn't a lot of like that intensity, like pushing people around.
Yeah.
But they didn't look bad. Like I said, Skull I thought looked good. Sting looked good. Luke looked better.
I'm chalking it up to inexperience, and I'm hoping that after this game, that week 2, which I did hear Todd Bowles say it, that the week 2 preseason game is more like, okay, we're a little bit more comfortable. We had the jitters, it was our first, and they do a lot better. Everybody do a lot better. So that's what I'm chalking it up to, and then we'll see preseason 2. We'll see how it looks, and we'll go from there. Whether we should start being even closer to pressing the panic button. But shout out to Saints Uptown, who was here. I guess he dipped out. Internet was going in and out. But shout out to Saints Uptown, who was in the building representing for the Saints. Finally, someone from the Saints representing. Shout out to Sean J in the building. I got everybody that was on this channel. If you are not subscribed to me, subscribe to me. Because I have everybody's in the description. So everybody that you saw in here, Team Money, Sean J, DJ, Mike, everybody, all their channels are in the description. Their link is in the description. All you gotta do is click on it. Team Money, where they can reach you, sign off.
My channel is Mr. T Money 1993. Also, Straight Fast, because that's all I spend this YouTube thing. Put out a video earlier breaking down Jax Kruger sports video on all Bryce Young's throws, so go ahead and check that out. And also, if you scroll a little bit down, I got a video about J.C. Horn against the Falcons last year. That's, I think, 7 or 8 views. 7 or 8 views from 700 views. So I'm trying to hit that little milestone with that video. So
I'll help you out, my brother. I'll go and give you a view today, my man. Yeah,
Sean J, go get him.
Hey, 700. Hey, man, it's your boy Sean J. Look me up on YouTube, Sean J, SHONJ. Atlanta Falcons content, man. Atlanta content, period, man. That's what we do. We represent the city. We represent the culture. We here hard body defending our squad. But I enjoy coming and talking football with my brothers all day on Twitter, or, when we hop on the NFC roundtable, NFC South roundtable. I hope we can do this more. Hope we can do this weekly so we can give the people a spot to come and congregate and talk about our football teams, man. So salute to you, RTP, for hosting. Salute for having me, and salute fellas for listening to all the shit that I like to talk, man, because it's all in good fun, man. That's what I do. So
and listen, this is nothing right now. We're literally pulling for things to talk about because it's preseason, and we really know what it means because it's preseason. When the regular season starts, it's gonna be nasty. Like it's gonna be nasty, man. DJ, let them know what it is. Don't go nowhere, Sean J. No, nobody go nowhere after this. Go ahead, DJ.
Yeah, you already know it's your boy DJ, part of Big Talk Sports.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, definitely. You're gonna obviously see Sean J on there, and RTP, T Money. It's like you said, this is something we do all together. Probably, I'm gonna try to get a little better with the Bucks content on there. I'll keep it 100 with that.
I'll be bugging you. Don't worry.
But, I know you're gonna be on my ass. So I already know. So I'm gonna get a little better with mine.
I ain't gonna lie. The biggest thing we need you to do is when RTP watch film, we need somebody else there because it'd be looking crazy.
You're gonna connect. We're gonna, like I said, this year I'm in a better space just in general, so it's gonna be a lot easier.
That's what's up.
Yeah, y'all heard me right. I was on here with my kids in the back, so I mean, I definitely now have a lot more flexibility than I've had over the other years. So, yeah, man, appreciate you all, man. Appreciate everybody signing in.
All right, that's it, man, for preseason game 1, August 13, 2023. We'll see you guys next time we see you guys. You guys be safe out there, and continue to rep your guys' squad, man, because that's what it's all about. Fanhood, man. Rep your squad.